What comes to mind when you hear the word halal? I'm pretty sure the majority of you first go to meat, right? Just to let you know, halal is not limited to just meat. It's part of the global halal economics. It's just one part of the global halal economics, which can be referred to as halal economics. In this video, we will give a brief introduction into halal economics, how it's taken over the jobs of non-Muslim workers, businesses, and putting non-Islamic traders out of business, which is why it's not appropriate to be forced onto non-Muslims. Stay tuned. Halal is the Arabic word for permitted. Halal means that it's permitted under Islamic guidelines as found in the Quran and the Hadith, prophetic texts. The halal industry has now expanded beyond the food sectors to include pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, health products, toiletries, and medical devices, as well as service sector components such as logistics, marketing, printing, electronic media, packaging, branding, and other major sectors such as financing. Although each industry needs its own separate video, this video will focus on the generic term halal and halal economics. Halal is used primarily by Muslims, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with them following their beliefs and their religion. However, you would be surprised if you walk into many ethnic restaurants, and they're non-Muslim ethnic restaurants, you'd find no other options but halal meat. And those are in countries such as India, UK, and the US. In the US, there's no options but halal meat in Indian restaurants, where their customers are 99% non-Muslim. That's strange, isn't it? Well, I'd find that strange. Okay, let's start with the most widely known aspect of halal industry, which is meat. Meat is considered halal when the animal is slaughtered using Islamic guidelines, which are the following. The animal to be slaughtered must be from the category that are permitted for Muslims to eat. So, for example, pigs are forbidden in Islam. So, pork can never be halal. The animal must be alive at the time of slaughter. Slaughter must be done by a sane adult Muslim. Animals slaughtered by non-Muslims can never be halal, which puts all of non-Muslim butchers out of business if the meat has to be halal certified. Okay, and then the name of Allah must be mentioned or invoked by saying a kalma. Okay, now the method of slaughtering this animal, the throat has to be cut, the trachea has to be cut, and the two main jugulars have to be cut. The head of the animal must not be cut off during slaughter, but later it's cut off after the animal is completely dead, which leaves animals to bleed and die in misery. These are some of the terms to slaughter an animal as per Islamic ways. Now, say for example in India, where Hindus and Sikhs make up 80% of the population, and Hindus and Kshatriyas and Sikhs are not supposed to eat halal. Rather, they're supposed to eat jatka meat, which is a completely different way to slaughter an animal. However, in Indian hotels, restaurants, and including India's official airlines, Parliamentary House canteens serve only halal meat without providing another option. Recently, the courts have ordered the parliament to provide an alternative. So the point we're trying to make is 80% of the population should not be eating halal. Then why is the meat industry predominantly halal certified? The answer is there's barely any demand for jatka meat. In our recent trip to India, we were surprised to find only a handful of jatka meat shops in the densely populated city of Mumbai, which has a population of 18.5 million. On the other hand, halal meat shops were on every corner. When we talked to people, they said that these were more accessible, and they didn't know what halal economics was. When we talked about accessibility, these halal shops were not always there in such huge numbers. Hindus and Sikh community butchers were a major part of the meat industry, which has been completely taken over by the halal meat industry, putting all non-Muslim butchers out of business. The reason we gave this example is this is what's to come for the other industries that halal is taking over, such as cosmetics, fashion, pharmaceuticals, finance, and many more industries. So to begin with, the industry of halal economics started in UK, where several Islamic groups came up with halal certification for the Muslim minorities of the United Kingdom. Then it was made a tool by the community as directed by the clerics to only buy products which were halal certified. And the community started boycotting other businesses. So hence the need for those businesses to become halal certified. This is a trap. It's not only discriminatory, but it's also strategic, as it puts non-Muslims out of business and creates a dominance which leads to forcing halal products like it's been forced onto the Indian meat industry. Before we move ahead in this video, we will discuss other halal industries and details in subsequent videos. So please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to be notified of those future videos. Let me give you a quick example of halal as part of other economics. For example, halal poses, which is a vegetarian food. It is called halal as they have to read the kalma, that's Islamic prayer, while sowing the seed. And to get halal certified, companies have to abide by Islamic law, which is set by various halal certifying organizations. Their entire process from sowing the seed to handling the seed has to be done by Muslims, thus eliminating non-Muslim farmers, logistics, and other employment of non-Muslims. Similarly, all halal products have similar requirements to be certified as halal. Now, today, the halal business is estimated to be in 3.5 trillion around the world, and it's set to grow to over 6 trillion in coming years. So when the industry is discriminating, taking away jobs, it is also creating a religious dominance while people are not aware of it. Another reason why it's dangerous and how it affects you. Without complicating the subject, we'll sum it up by giving one example. In our future videos, we'll talk in more detail of another aspect. To understand this, we need to understand the concept of zakat. Zakat is an obligatory payment made annually under Islamic law on certain kinds of property and used for various religious purposes. Zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and is considered important. Zakat is calculated to be a minimum of 2.5% of an individual's total savings over a certain amount. As per the Quran, chapter 9, verse 60, there are 8 categories where these funds can be used. Some of them are pious and some for other reasons, such as to persuade people to convert to Islam, and those fighting for a religious cause or a cause of God, or for jihad, the way of Allah, by means of pen, word, or sword. As we mentioned earlier, halal is an Islamic economy. According to Islamic law, that is 2.5% of the globally contributed zakat can be used for conversion and jihad. This is apart from what halal businesses pay other Islamic taxes, which are optional in Islam, like sadaq, which is a discretionary and optional or voluntary charity. These funds can be utilized for a few other objectives like political lobbying, media lobbying, and promoting Islam. So to sum up the introduction, by buying halal, I'm putting non-Muslim employees out of work, non-Muslim businesses out of work, and also I'm funding Islamic conversion and jihad. Have some time to think if you want to know what to do. Simply understand this concept, strategic spread of halal industry, and more than anything, demand alternate products when the businesses only provide halal products. We're signing off for now. Stay tuned, like, share, and do not forget to subscribe to the Indus Lens, and definitely hit the bell icon.